Each year, thousands of leaders, innovators, and forward thinkers gather at Workday Rising to explore what's next in the changing world of work. We've unlocked the vaults on our most impactful conversations, and we're bringing them directly to you. We dove deep into the strategies and insights shaping our collective future, so prepare to be inspired, challenged, and empowered to make a change. This is the Future of Work podcast, recorded live at Workday Rising.
Hello, and welcome back to Workday Rising, live from the Moscone Center in San Francisco. I'm Carrie, Varoquiers, Chief Philanthropy Officer at Workday, and with me is Chris Ernst, Workday's Chief Learning Officer. Chris, you and I both believe that human connection is really a very powerful tool for an organization's growth and innovation. That's why I'm just so excited to dive into this with you today.
Yeah, absolutely.
To really talk about how we can use technology as a way to forge genuine human connection. So, from your perspective, in your role as our Chief Learning Officer, how does the crisis of loneliness and disconnection really make an impact on organizations?
Yeah, great, Carrie. So good to be having this conversation with you and everyone out there. But this is a really important topic, right?
Yeah.
And Cigna, we've looked at that research. They've been conducting it since 2018. And the data shows that 47% of Americans identified as lonely back in 2018. The latest research from this past year is up to 57%. So that's an 11% increase over these years. We've heard from Brene Brown over these last couple of days, and as she said, like, that is not okay. That is something that we need to focus on. And from a business perspective, that is a bottom line issue.
Yep.
In terms of absenteeism, as in terms of attrition, in terms of disengagement.
Yep.
And it's very much a top line issue. I very much believe that innovation thrives through connection, right? And it withers with disconnection. So this is not just a moral imperative. This is very much a business imperative.
Yeah, it's not a soft and squishy. It's
not a
actually
soft
bottom line.
issue. It's
Yeah.
a bottom line issue.
So as we think about the way that we're all adopting AI in our personal and professional lives, how is AI reshaping how we learn and grow and build connections? Like, what are you seeing at Workday?
Yeah. Well, first, let me start with a risk.
Yeah.
And this is something that we have to be really thoughtful about is, so we're getting really good at prompting algorithms, working with algorithms. But we have to be thoughtful about what is the impact on that, on how we grow and learn and adapt and innovate as humans, right?
Yes.
So started my career working with some of the masters of human development, and we created it's the most well-known framework in learning and development. It's called 70-20-10.
Okay.
70% of how we learn is through experience, 20% is through relationships with others, and 10% is through like formal study or coursework, things of that nature. So here's the question, Carrie, is what happens, and you know this one too, like when AI gives you the perfect answer in less than 30 seconds effortlessly.
Right.
So true learning growth, it happens from when we do the work.
Yes.
Writing that excruciating white paper, solving that hard problem, right? Working through a conflict with a peer. It's those moments of hardship, of challenge, of struggle, where we as humans learn, grow, connect, evolve the most. So we have to make sure that we continue to keep that as part of our work experience.
Yeah, I always think about how much I learn from colleagues at work, and especially those that are outside of my team, right? When we're thrown together on a project that's cross-functional, I learn so much, not only about the project we're working on, but about the business, right? And we can innovate together when we're coming across divides. If I go to AI and just get the answer immediately, I'm kind of losing that opportunity. So I do think that really being intentional about the way that we use AI to answer some of our questions is super important. I know that you and I talked about this at a session yesterday where we are hearing from university professors that offline learning amongst their students.
In like Discord channels.
Yeah, it's really starting to quiet down because now everybody can just get the perfect answer right away from their large language model.
Yeah.
And what are we missing when that happens?
Yep. And
you know?
it's not only, they're getting the answer, but it's very transactional.
That's right.
And they're not, necessarily in terms of building connection with other students. I also hear from other professors that office hours, attendance is down.
Oh, okay.
So that part of, that's something that, and I know we'll talk about, there's real opportunity in how we design work to make sure that we get the opportunity and not the risk. But I think it's important to also talk about the risk because that has an impact on our connections at work.
Yeah. Well, you're just leading me right to the next question, which is, we've heard about the risks. We know that AI can be a very powerful tool for good if we're intentional about the way that we design it and implement it for connection. So what are some concrete and really tangible strategies that organizations can use to build a culture where technology really serves as an accelerant for connection, human flourishing, rather than replacing it?
There we go. Yeah. Feel very strongly about this. We have to really reimagine how we learn, how we grow, how we develop in this age of AI. And to me, what that means is take that 70-20-10.
Yep.
And we have to be conscious, like designers of work. That is, it has to be deeply experiential. That's at 70%. Work has to be uniquely social. We have to be able to create social connection at work. And 10% is we have to have work that's deliberately developmental. And we could talk, the rest of the day on this.
Yeah.
But this, so a couple like concrete examples around work being deeply experiential. We can design AI that is not just a transactional experience, but also a developmental one. So a financial analyst could be working with an AI system that not only helps like expedite and turbocharge that report, but helps teach the fundamental, why behind the numbers.
Yep.
So excited about Sana becoming part of the Workday family. Sana's ability to truly like embed learning into the flow of your Workday experience every day. So really transforming what could just be a transactional experience into a developmental one, right? We have opportunities to really think about how we strengthen social connection at work. So this year, Workday, we launched, as you know, our largest L&D initiative in our company history. It's called Everyday AI. And it's all about putting workmates, in the driver's seat and building social connection. We don't want people just learning about AI at their own laptop. We want them to be experiencing it together. So,
it's super fun. I've done it.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Super fun. Everything from, promptathons, like a hackathon, but for prompting where teams across the company compete and develop their skills. We did the AI plays, which are little old school analog cards.
That's probably why I love them.
Of course. Well, no, there's a digital version too, but they're simply fun experiential games that teams can play. We gamify it. We have leaderboards. And this one, one more example is we launched this L&D initiative. It's our biggest effort around upskilling, and it's how to help everyone develop their habits and skills and mindsets to use AI. And we started with a town hall.
Yeah.
We have about 5 or so town halls a year at Workday, and we totally flipped the script on this one. Yes, Carl opened it up with a few minutes to welcome workmates, but then the rest of the town hall was our workmates telling their stories, their experiences, their use cases with AI to 20,000 of their friends, around the world. So these are some things we can do.
Great examples.
We can make AI deeply experiential. We can embed learning and growth and development into our tools. We can make work more social in terms of how we have to facilitate these connections. And then lastly, I know you love this one, is we have to make work deliberately developmental. And in some ways that means less addition, trying to do more and more, and a little bit more subtraction. Creating more space.
I love that.
For Slack time.
Yeah.
more space for teams to be able to have time to be able to create and innovate together.
Yep.
And in this era, the AI will take care of a lot of the knowledge parts of work. It's how do we slow ourselves down to make sense of it, to be closer to our customer, to question our business models, to be able to think strategically, systemically, holistically. Those are going to be some of the opportunities ahead for us.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, as you know, the Workday Foundation has been investing in human connection for almost a year now, because we really believe that it's critically important for human flourishing. We invest in organizations like the U.S. Chamber of Connection.
What's their model?
The model is really simple. It's in any city in the U.S. where there is a Chamber of Commerce, we should have a Chamber of Connection where that city has a plan for creating connections for people in that community, which I think is really awesome. And we fund organizations like the Foundation for Social Connection. And so I feel really passionately about this topic. And I know that we heard from Carl yesterday saying, look, this is human centric, right? And it's not about technology or humans. It's the amplification we get when we marry the two. And I think of things like AI algorithms that can recommend local events for you to get involved with, so you can meet more neighbors that normally you wouldn't come in contact with. Like, there is a way to actually use this technology to accelerate those human connections in a really meaningful way. And you're doing such a great job of that at Workday.
Can I give one more example?
Yeah, I would.
Just think about the way that we create gigs. Gigs are where AI matches workmates to projects to solve business problems, right? And it really stretches workmates to get out of their comfort zone, to work on a problem in a different part of the company, to build relationships with a whole other team or geography or culture or context. And so we've been tracking our gig participants longitudinally. We've had over 5,000 workmates participate in a gig over the past almost 2 years now, 18 months. We look at the data longitudinally, and our workmates who participate in a gig have a 42% increase in internal mobility than those that don't, and a 33% reduction in attrition. So to your point, Carrie, these are our workmates that are they're solving real problems. They are growing new skills. They're building new connections with people across the organization, and importantly, they're finding their next opportunity at Workday, rather than with competition.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. In the couple minutes that we have left, what are your final thoughts? Like, what's your parting wisdom here about the future of AI in the workplace?
Yeah. Well, it's tough to boil it down to a final thought, but I would say that we have to widen the aperture. The current focus of lots of our conversations with customers, and this is right up to the C-suite, is really about how AI can drive a bottom line efficiency gains, productivity. That's important.
Sure.
That is absolutely important. And we need to widen the aperture to how we can reinvest in initiatives that drive growth of our business and our people. And, we need to think more about not how do we get 10x efficiency gain, but how do we 10x the connections? How do we 10x the employee experience? How do we 10x the capabilities of our people? And I truly believe that the winning companies are going to be those that think about not just, you can't automate your way to innovation, right? So that are really thinking about how these technologies can really unleash new capabilities for their people.
Yeah, we've talked about that before with the productivity gains that we're all seeing when we use AI tools in our own work. What are we doing with that extra time? Are we doing, 20 more rote tasks, or are we actually, reaching out to our team members and saying, do you want to go to lunch?
I could not agree more. Everybody, if we think that the ultimate aim of AI is just to help us do another 10 things on Thursday, we've missed the opportunity.
That's right.
The real opportunity is how AI can elevate all of us together to do amazing things, to learn, to lead, to create, to problem solve. That's where the real opportunity is, and that's the journey ahead for sure.